And National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichungw'a has mounted a strong defense for the proposed National Infrastructure Fund, terming it a long-conceived strategy aimed at reforming Kenya's development financing model and reducing reliance on public debt. Speaking in the National Assembly, Ichungw'a dismissed claims that the proposal was rushed or reactionary, insisting the bill is anchored in the Kenya Kwanza manifesto and aligned with ongoing legislative reforms. However, a section of members of parliament opposed the bill, arguing that the infrastructure fund could worsen the country's already heavy debt burden and weaken parliament oversight role.
We need to go on record and disabuse this notion that this is an independent fund, has nothing to do with public debt. In essence, Honorable Speaker, the basic interpretation of the two clauses is that this is public, they are going to borrow using the back door, using another law to borrow funds to fund commercially viable projects. So this issue, Honorable Speaker, we must become very clear.
Once we force this fund to become an act of parliament, honorable members, there will be minimal oversight by this House. Matters in terms of how do you apply the resources, and in terms of how have the resources been utilized, so that you can confirm that the resources were used for public interest. That's an area as a House. If you pass as it is, Honorable Speaker, we will be having a challenge, Honorable Speaker.
Together with statements of income and expenditure for every financial year, and thereafter, as I said, in line with that, the provisions of our Constitution, it is you in the National Assembly, not even in the other House, here in the National Assembly. Honorable Speaker, the other misconception that I have had is that this is another ingenious way of borrowing. Far from the truth, Honorable Speaker. And I had time to explain to Honorable Oundo after his contribution, because I like listening to Honorable Oundo, Honorable Makali, because they base their arguments on what they have read, unlike some of us who have not read the bill and just oppose for the sake of opposing. And I explained to Honorable Oundo that this, unlike what was being said by another member who speaks too much in workshops and conferences and press conferences opposing everything government, the fund is an investment vehicle.